Sorry, so much fucking dust in here. What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm going to show you some of my postcards in my collection, some Pokemon postcards. If you're not among the Dust Lords in Pokemon and you're not familiar with these, yes, Pokemon doesn't just make trading cards, they also make postcards. I think they are pretty cool. They've been doing it pretty much since the TCG has been released, since Pokemon's been a thing, I'm pretty sure. And there's thousands of postcards.
Oh, really?
One thing I like about them is, you know, they're bigger. The arts are bigger, easier to look at. You can start to notice more details in the arts. And I think it gives the artists a lot of, you know, range and with the, you know, what they can do with the art. When it's a smaller art, maybe it's harder and limits them somewhat, but it doesn't seem like it as of late because these, you know, cards that are coming out are pretty fire. Given a lot of them are full arts, but anyways, yeah, so I have here, I'm going to switch my camera over you know, on OBS, and I'm going to show you some of the cards in my collection. If you have been a part of the live, you've seen these probably most likely if you join my lives, but if you haven't, this will probably be the first time you're seeing these. So you have right here is the first one. It may look familiar to you. That's because it probably is. This is a Southern Island art. So this art was used on the Southern Island cards, and then other Southern Island products. But yeah, it's got you know, it's got Charizard there, Mew, Pidgeot, Dragonite, Golems over here rolling down the hill. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty cool. And then I do try to collect cards that haven't been written on the back. If you are thinking about collecting these or start collecting these, and if you're one of those people that wants to get them graded, I think you have to almost get the ones that are not addressed, because I believe I've heard that PSA and some companies won't actually slab the cards with an address anymore because they have to take scans of the card and then it gets published on their website, and that's personal information of other people. Personal information of the, you know, people that maybe don't want their information out there. So that's something to keep in mind when you are collecting these, is if you do plan to get them graded, try to get them without the address. Otherwise, you could stick them in a binder. They do have binders for these, so that's something you can do, is just get a binder. I just realized I didn't have my other camera on. All right. Is that better?
Good job.
But yeah, you can get a binder for postcards and put them in there and display them that way, or keep them collected that way. For now, I just have them in these like I don't know, just postcard like kind of semi-rigid things I found at the dollar store here, the 100 yen store. But this is from, I believe, the movie in one of the Pokemon movies. I forget what it was called, but there was 5 cards that came in this set, and these are super clean. These are, I'm going to send to grading eventually, because I don't think there's anything wrong with these. I would say one of the cons of collecting these cards is, like I said, finding them without an address, and then because they are bigger, they're about the same thickness as a Pokemon card, but they're more surface area, so that makes them more bendable and easily, like, I don't know, just they're hard to keep in like you know, good condition, make sure there's no bends and stuff like that. And then another thing is the corners. The corners on most postcards are, you know, pointed corners, like more like sports cards. We're not used to that in Pokemon, but yeah, so that's another thing that would make it more difficult to grade probably. But yeah, here's the Articuno. So these arts connect. Let me see if I can show it actually. Sorry, let me move these. Ugh. Okay, so actually, yeah, Zapdos goes over there. And then this goes here, I believe. Sorry, this isn't the best way to display it, but and then we got the Moltres. It's like Zapdos goes in the middle. But yeah, we got this Moltres for the Moltres fans out there. It's pretty cool. These things look like they're brand new, but they're actually, like I said, they're from, the copyright date on here is 99. It looks like down at the bottom, and if it's for I think the movie that came out in 2000. But they yeah. So those go together as such. I'll put them back there. Maybe you can kind of see them. Well, actually, let's try this. Maybe that'll make it a bit better. Yeah, it's a little bit better. And then this came in a pack, a sleeve of, there was 5 with these cards. There's like I think this is probably the poster art for the movie. So yeah, shout out to Skater Nesto. I know he collects the big art, the poster art. But yeah, this is yeah, pretty cool. Revelation Lugia. It's just super nostalgic because I remember going to see this movie in the theaters, and yeah, this was such a cool time as a kid. So yeah, there's like I said, there's nothing on these. And then this was the last one in the set. Main character here, not a main, well, a main character, not the main character in the movie, but you got your Slow King right there. And then this is okay. So that was like one set of cards came together. This was the Pokemon Center or Pokemon Company also released oftentimes a like Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year like set of postcards that you could buy in a pack of 5. And I don't know what year this one's from. This one's 99. But this is just really cool, like hand drawn art. Merry Christmas. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but yeah, so like I said, like a lot of the art you'll find on cards or other, merchandise from Pokemon, but then there's also arts like this where, as far as I know, this is the only way this art, you could get this art is on these postcards. And that's, I think, one of the things I really like about Pokemon cards, especially if you're like a vintage collector and most vintage Pokemon cards have been out a really long time. A lot of people know of them, so they're familiar with the arts, and it's just kind of like there's nothing, nothing new, obviously, because vintage is vintage. It's what it is. But then, you get into this, and this is like perfect example. It's like super unique stuff that if you're not, familiar and haven't looked actually, you have never seen this before, but just really cool. This one says Akemashite Omedetou, which is Happy New Year in Japanese. It's part of that same Merry Christmas, Happy New Year set. These are some really cool. These are some of my favorite in this 1999 set. This is just, again, more cool vintage hand-drawn art that I think is super unique. Yeah. There's also, if you get a chance, if you guys decide you want to like start looking at these, there's also lenticular postcards that are really cool. They're the image changes as you like move the card back and forth. Those are some really cool cards. I don't have any of those, but there's like a Dragonite that looks really cool. I think they have like a Charizard. There's several of them. Like I said, there's so many of these postcards, like thousands of different kinds. If anybody knows of a good website or has like a good collection themselves and has like an Instagram, I'd be like interested in like getting that link so I can look at this. That's cool. Psyduck. Psyduck seems to be pretty popular in this age because look at, he's here in this one. Of course you got all your starters. Togepi's a pretty popular Pokemon, and then Psyduck's there. Same here, same 5 Pokemon plus Onix. But Psyduck's up there. It looks like it's Mount Fuji and the Japanese rising sun. And then he's like also, and I guess maybe this was the theme of this year, or maybe it was a more popular Pokemon back then. I don't know. And then you got, this is the Kangaskhan, looks like Igloo with Pikachu and Togepi cooking something on the yakiniku grill. The colors of this are just really cool too. I love the color of the Squirtle and then the sunrise or sunset, whatever that is in the background. I like this too. Like Ivysaur, Venusaur's got he's wearing something, some Japanese something on his back. The grass, it's just like a unique, because you don't see Ivysaur's got that bulb or, on his back or, and it's not bloom, but this has got like grass and then bamboo coming out of his back. So that's just, a unique way for him to be drawn that you can't see really anywhere else. And then this one was just kind of off the wall, came in the same, I believe. Oh no, this is, okay, maybe this is not the same. I think we went through 5 already. Yeah, we went through 5. So I don't know. This is 2001, different year. This is a part of a different set, Happy New Year set, but I think this is the only one of this I have. There's that Smeargle, Pikachu, Pichu. Some cool stuff, I think. It says Kite wo hate nya. Hate nya. It's like I think it means you put your postage stamp there. Um, and then this is a little bit more unique. If you guys are familiar with some super dust, this is Yumi Tsukurino. She's the artist of a Japanese girls comic that was out in Japan. I forget the year. This is like maybe 1997, 98, around that time. And they had a collaboration with Pokemon, and it looks kind of like Pichu. This is actually Pikachu. And he's got a little firework art up there. You got your Jigglypuff, and these are super uniquely drawn just to her style. But the comic actually, you can look it up. If you look up Yumi Tsukurino on eBay, it'll come up because the comic came out in English, I believe, which is pretty rare for, I believe, some of these older Japanese comics that weren't as popular. But yeah, you can get this this stuff in English too. I don't know about the postcards, but the comics with this kind of art. And there's a whole like storyline with several of the Pokemon, I believe, Charmander's in one of the comic books, or several of the comic books, and a few other Pokemon. But I just thought that was a really cool, unique looking postcard to get. And I think it was like 400 yen, something super cheap. And then I've showed this before, but since we're showing postcards, this is something that was more, you couldn't just buy, like from the Pokemon Center, Pokemon like store or whatever. You had to be a part of the Pokemon Daisuki Club, the Pokemon fan club, and then you would get this. This probably is familiar to most people too. It's the Southern Island art. It says special card, tropical present. I like the fact that it looks like a trainer card, you know. And they did these every year too, and I believe they were around the time of New Year's and stuff. You would get them. And then yeah, this is just saying that this card you get 10 points, I believe, or something to your club account. And then the back. I don't want to show everything because there's an address on here. And I know I said in the beginning, don't buy cards with addresses, but if you can find one of these with an address, that's actually, I would pick it up if it's a decent price, because usually, what people do, they're all addressed. I think I've seen actually one not addressed, and I don't know how that happened because they're coming from Pokemon to the person that was signed up with the fan club membership. So I'm not sure, but I would say 99% of these are addressed to the people they were sent to. And a lot of times when you're trying to look for them online and buying them, they'll be marked out with a marker or something to hide their information. So yeah, and that just kind of looks messy to me. They're still really cool because of what they are, but if you could find one that doesn't have an address marked out, like covered up in Sharpie or something, I would pick it up if you could find one of those. Just because they're rare, I think. Rare, hard to find. And then we have a couple more postcards. They're not Pokemon. I think I was showing these on a live, and UAP was in there. Your average player, if you know who he is, he was in there, and he was like, "Oh man, this is." I was calling it dust and stuff, like, but he's like, "Oh man, this is dark." The way the comment made me laugh. It was pretty funny, because of how deep I'm in it, I guess. But this is just another one of these. I forget what they're called. It's like a girls type comic. But yeah, also pretty old art. I forget if it says how old they are, but this is the closest thing I'll probably ever own to uncut sheet, and it's not even Pokemon, but these are like individual postcards that are like perforated, and you can peel off, and you can send them to your friends. But yeah, I just thought it was cool. The art looks super old Japanese vintage. I haven't done any too much. I think Margaret is actually the name of the comic. I haven't done any too much research on it, but yeah, Margaret, I'm pretty sure is the name of the comic. And don't know if it's popular or not. I'm assuming it was. If you know anything about it, let me know. Here's another one. I don't know what it was about it. I usually just collect Pokemon, but I don't know. It caught my eye, and I was like, yeah, I want that. One summer looking one. This guy looks like he's from TikTok right here. This looks like a modern kind of style, I feel like. um, and then let's see, we got a few more, just a couple more. And don't know what this is. Just came with this. I bought like these all in like a grouping of somebody getting rid of them for, I think it was a couple thousand yen. So they all came together. Himiko Sugi. I'm guessing that's the artist name. That's cool. Just a couple of kids at like a Japanese summer festival. And then two more. Another cool looking art. Don't know what's going on here. These kids are on a little walk at night. Maybe they're headed somewhere, but there's got this little ghost right here. A owl maybe. Somebody up to no good behind the well. Yeah. Those kids are fucked. That's cool. And then lastly, for the postcards, we have this one. Also not a Pokemon. If you're still here. All right. If you are still here, one more thing I wanted to show. Not a postcard, but similar in it's a card-like material. And like, again, I've showed this on my a live, but a lot of people, I don't know how many people watch those. So this is, let me zoom out because I don't think you can see it fully. This is a, hopefully that worked. Insert for the Bandai Card S slide up cards. I have shown these on the channel before. Well, I showed a box of these. Here's the box. These came in the vending machine, similar to the Bandai Card S vending cards. But you would put in some money, and then you would get a little packet of 2 cards, and they were like pop-up cards, similar to a pop-up book. And you could battle them, I believe. But like, here's like the Pikachu. You push it together, and it pops out, and that's your Pokemon. And I think there's stats on the back of that part. And there's also like rares. You can't see it here, I don't think, but there's also like gold, all gold Mewtwo, all gold Charizard, and there's different ones. But this is actually the insert for the machine, the vending machine that you would put your little yen into to get this. So probably way overpaid for this, but I'm dusted, and I thought it was super unique and really, wanted it. They don't come about too often. So I bought it, and I'm happy I did. All right, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show in the video today. I didn't really, I thought people were asking for me to show off my collection and stuff, and so I'm gonna start, taking bits of it and showing it to you guys little by little. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are postcard collectors, hit me up, let me know. If you got any other unique items you collect, yeah, just let me know in the chat, in the comments, if there's something other than Pokemon cards that you collect. I know most people are just, strictly Pokemon cards, but I think, like I said, it's a unique way to collect. It's a bit cheaper than a lot of like vintage stuff. You got, like, again, you got the art is bigger, easier to like see details that you might not have seen in smaller, TCG cards, especially with the vintage stuff being not non-full art. But and then it's just yeah, unique arts to only you could see on postcards and stuff like that you may not have been aware of. Was you have a favorite artist that you know all their vintage cards, but you want to see more from them, and this is, I think, a way to do it, is to look at different Pokemon products such as postcards, other merchandise, and you could find some really cool things. Yeah, that's all I had for you. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you again soon. Peace.